Hi, this is my video on the SMATREE SQ2. Now this is a compact selfie stick for your action camera, point and shoot camera, and even some 360 cameras. Now I'll go around the box quickly. This is how you get it. These stickers up here are strictly from Amazon, where I bought this from. And in the UK from Amazon it is about £23 you'd pay for this. Well, go around the box. As you can see, it comes in a plain brown box with the word SMATREE on there and made in China. Nothing on the sides and on the bottom. In the box, this is what you'll get, and I'll start with the various things that you get and leave the selfie stick, which is at the top here, till last. Now, on the selfie stick itself, you get this small manual, paper manual, which just basically tells you how to extend the selfie stick, and that this selfie stick works on a twist lock motion to lock the selfie stick in place, and just basically how to use the ball head, which it comes with a mini ball head, and I'll get to that later. So that's what that is. Next we have a smartphone clamp, which has a 1/4 inch thread on the back as well as the bottom. It has rubber grips on either side, and it is spring loaded and made out of plastic, so you get that in the box. We also get this GoPro tripod mount with a female 1/4 inch thread at the bottom, a concealed nut here, closed nut, which is kind of brass looking, and the unit is actually made out of plastic, and which I like, you get this kind of thumb screw. Now these kind of thumb screws, these winged thumb screws, I particularly love. These thumb screws, sorry, as when you've got gloves on, they are easy to turn and to lock and unlock. Plus, you can tighten your camera more securely with these nuts than the traditional GoPro nuts. So these wing nuts, very, very good. And next we have a bag to put your compact selfie stick in, along with its accessories and tripod feet. And this bag is made out of a UPVC material, so it's got this kind of leather look, but it isn't leather. And inside it's kind of material felt inside, and it's simple pull drawstring to close it, so you get that in the box as well. And also you get these tripod legs. Now, one thing I like when SMATREE issues tripod legs to their selfie sticks is that they are weighted tripod legs, and also they are made out of metal and come with rubber end feet, which is really, really good, because some manufacturers will just give you a plastic alternative. And you also get a 1/4 inch thread at the top with this kind of rubber platform. The only negative thing with these legs are when you first get them, they tend to be stiff when opening out, and after a time one of these legs will loosen, or two of them will loosen up, and there is no way that you could tighten them, that I could see that you could tighten these legs back. So that's the only negative with these particular tripod legs. But that's good that they gave you this in the package as well. And last and not least is the selfie stick itself. Now this is a very compact selfie stick, and to show you how compact it is, I will compare it with the Insta compact selfie stick. This is a generic copy, But basically it's exactly the same. It's just that the proper one has the word Insta written on there, Insta360. So as you can see, this is a compact selfie stick, and put up against the SQ2, as you can see, it's very compact. The only thing what extends it a little bit is the top of the ball head. That extends it a little bit, but it is such a compact selfie stick. I'd say it is quite unique, and this will be able to fit into your pocket no problem. Now I'll go through the selfie stick and work from the bottom to the top. We have this lanyard that's on there, which is a wrist lanyard, but there is no adjustment to the wrist on this lanyard. It is also removable because you need it to be removed to place these tripod legs on there. So this is removable with a 1/4 inch thread on this screw here. The whole entire selfie stick itself is made out of metal with this nice smooth rubber coating, but there is some grip to this coating, and as you can see, it is the same thickness as the actual selfie stick itself. Then we come to the top, where we have this mini ball head, and it has the words SMATREE imprinted on there. And on this mini ball head, which is a different shape to their normal standard ball heads, which are just straight, this one tends to be tapered in a bit, which tends to give it a kind of more premium look. With this ball head, it is all made out of metal. Everything on here is metal. The only thing which is not is the top, which has this rubber platform here with a 1/4 inch thread. And we have this small lever here to, when you turn down, releases the ball head, and the ball head can go into a 90-degree angle like so, and back like that. So that's what the ball head on the top here is. Even when loose, this ball head does not swivel around. Some mini ball heads, when you release the lever, in the ball head itself swivels around. Now with this one, only the top here swivels around. Now I like how SMATREE provides a metal ball head, which, as I stated, gives it a more premium look to the actual unit and gives it more longevity, because at least it's metal then rather than being plastic. This is how it looks when it's fully extended, and I am using the phone mount on top for this demonstration, but this is how it looks when it's fully extended. Now, from the manufacturers state that this extends out to 28 inches. Now they take into the account the measurement length from the bottom of the selfie stick or pole to the very top of the ball head is 28 inches. Now when broken down, it comes to 7 inches, stated again at the bottom all the way to the top of the actual ball mount. It is 7 inches when retracted down. Now when it's extended, even though they claim it's 28 inches, I don't go by that, because to me you're losing a couple of inches off the top for where the ball head is or mount, and also with the handle. So to me, a true extension length is basically where it comes out of the handle. So it's between the top of the handle and the bottom of the ball head. Points here, it measures 20 inches. So to me, the true extension length of this is 20 inches it extends out to. As it comes to this test that I'm going to do now, which is the wobble test, there's literally no wobble in this, which that's, as I said before, with SMATREE products I like, especially selfie sticks or action poles, there's no wobble when fully extended, especially when you're using a action camera or a point and shoot camera, or with, in this case, with the phone mount. There's no wobble when fully extended out. As for using point and shoot cameras on this particular selfie stick, if you can use your standard point and shoot camera, and if you have a Sony, I think it's RX editions, I hope I got that right, you can get away with this on this particular selfie stick, especially when it's fully extended. Now, as for mirrorless cameras, I would suggest you keep this at half length. So basically I'd keep it to about here when you're using a mirrorless camera, because I've put on my Canon M6 Mark II on here, and I'd say at this particular length, halfway or just over halfway, it is all right. But when fully extended out, because the last section at the very top here is really thin, you do find that it tends to want to bow. I don't mean break as in bow, but it wants to bend because it's the weight of the camera that's on there. So personally, I would keep the top section to the next section down. I've just loosened the ball head, sorry about that, folks. And try and keep it at that length if you want to put something like a mirrorless camera on there. Now, if you're going to put a DSLR camera on there, I suggest, because this selfie stick doesn't extend out that much, I would keep it personally no more than probably 2 lengths out, and try and keep it as compact to the handle, near to the handle as possible. So I'd keep it at that for a DSLR camera. So this comes with a phone mount, as I showed you earlier on in the video. And with this phone mount, as you can see, as I showed you before, it has a 1/4 inch thread on the back. Now, if you want to place, if you're doing vlogging with this, which I think this is a really good selfie stick to vlog with, because it's compact. When brought all the way in, it's compact. So you can fit a cold shoe mount on the back, and you can able to place something like the Rode Wireless Go on the cold shoe mount on the back, or a light or whatever that you need to place on there, which won't affect the shot, as long as it doesn't affect the sight of the camera there. So to me, that's great. Now, if you want it extended a bit more than the actual length of this, you could use the actual tripod legs that you get. Now, as I said, you have to remove the bottom and just place the bottom with the actual tripod legs. Adding on the tripod legs on the bottom and having them closed gives this an extra 7 inches more. So now the tripod legs becomes the handle, and you've got an extra 7 inches more. This is how it looks when we use the tripod legs and extend them out. And one thing I like with this particular tripod legs that SMATREE has provided with the SQ2 is that this particular tripod legs has a very, very wide footprint, really wide, and it sits almost practically onto the floor with this footprint. There's literally probably about an inch, and it's hard to get this on the camera, but I've got my hand under there and it's just gone under, and I've got medium-sized hands and it just goes under. So which is very, very good, because one, we have tripod legs that have some weight to them and they're made out of metal, and two, the actual tripod legs when closed up is 7 inches long, so it gives a very, when spread out or placed out, it gives a very wide footprint. And third, it doesn't stand, when spread out, it doesn't sit that far off the ground, so it's only about an inch off the ground. So if you wanted a nice selfie stick tripod, which is compact, to take outside, I suggest this is the one. Before I go into the pros and cons of the SMATREE SQ2. I had to remember that one. I'd just like to make out a little bit of a pointer to those people who use 360 cameras. Now it depends what 360 camera you are using on this, determines whether you want to really think about getting this. Now if you've got the Insta 1R or the GoPro Max or the Fusion or 360 cameras of that particular thickness from the side, you'll get away with this. And the reason why you get away with this is this particular lever here on the bore head will not show up, providing you keep the mount at the top straight and aligned. Now it's easy to do that. You just basically release the lever and just keep the platform back and it's all aligned. So this will not come up. So that's good in that respect. If you've got the Insta 1X, not the 1R, the 1X, which is a thinner, and I think the other one is a I think the Yi Sphere, I think it is. If I'm right, if I'm wrong, please put it down in the comment. But if you've got the Yi Sphere, which are thin cameras, 360 cameras, and they're very thin, this is going to show up when you're keyframing your shot, especially when you are looking down on yourself or looking towards yourself while holding this like so. This will show up on your shot. And also, if you're going to use the actual provided GoPro thumb screw that comes with these wing ones, that will show up on your shot. Only if you're using the Yi Sphere and the Insta 1X, 360 1X, these will show up. But if you're using the 1R, Insta 360 1R, or the GoPro Max or the Fusion, these do not show up. These will not show up because they're quite thick cameras. So those particular things, artifacts will not show up when you're keyframing, especially down towards your hand or towards yourself while holding this. That's my 2p worth on the SMATREE SQ2 compact. Now I'm going to start off with the cons first, stroke negatives. And the first negative has to be, and there's not many at all, the first negative has to be with this GoPro mount here, and also with the thumb screw. Now the negative is not the design of the thumb screw, it's not the design, and it's not the design of the mount neither, it's the material that's used. This would be great if this was all metal rather than plastic, and this would be great if it was made out of metal. The next con or negative has to be the wrist lanyard. There is no adjustment on this wrist lanyard, and they could have put a little adjustment on there, which probably would have cost the company probably less than a penny in plastic just put on there. So they needed to put an adjustment on the wrist. And the very last one, which I also stated in the video earlier on, has to be these collars, these plastic collars. They're made between each section. Even though, which I forgot to mention, this uses a twist lock motion to fix these into place. So to some people, that to them is a negative or a con. They rather prefer an individual locking system where you can either twist it or use a lever to lock each section in. So some people prefer that. So that could be a positive or a negative depending who you are and what you like when it comes to your action poles, selfie sticks, etc. But it has to but going back to it, it has to be these plastic collars that are in white. So if any representative from SMATREE is happened to be watching this video, try and get them to make these collars in black plastic. It gives your product a more premium look and stealth look. Even though your product isn't built well, it gives it a better look. Here's the pros about this, the positives about this selfie stick. The first one has to be the build quality. The build quality of this, excluding those collars, is really good. For what you get for your money, it is a very good product. And the compact of the SQ2, as I says, rivals, and I'll just go back to this, excuse me, even though this is a generic copy, but it's exactly the same as the Insta 360 compact selfie stick. It is almost of the same build quality as that. Now I have happened to, a friend of mine has got the compact version of this. This is just a generic one, but because it's a bank holiday at the moment, he's gone on holiday and he's took his with him. So the quality of this is exactly the same as that. And as I says, to me, SMATREE is like the third best after, I'd say, Sandmark, then GoPro, then this. Next positive has to be the ball head at the top here, not the mount, tripod mount, but the ball head. You get a nice solid metal ball head. Next up would have to be the tripod legs. They are weighted tripod legs. There's some weight to this, and they're made out of metal with nice rubber ends at the bottom of this. The only, which should have went in the negative, is the more you use these tripod legs and take them out and bring them back in, the only negative with this is, which I've had in the past with other tripod legs made similar to this, is sooner or later one of these legs are going to work themselves loose. It will still stand up, it will still open out. It's just that when it comes to closing, because there's no magnets between each legs or clips between each legs, it will tend to splay out. One will tend to splay out from the other. So you have to be aware of that. But otherwise, that's a nice, good feature what SMATREE has provided with this selfie stick. And last and not least is the extras that you get with it. I'm trying to hold these all in my hand here. Is the extras that you get with this particular selfie stick. And I've got to include that as well. Now I'll run it over again, back over again. The extras that you get with this selfie stick at £23 in the UK. First, you get a bag. And I'll try and get that up there with the word SMATREE written on there. And a particular logo, witness your courage, I think. On there, that's written on there. This nice little bag that you get with it. The tripod legs, brilliant. This particular winged GoPro nut, that's good. The GoPro tripod mount with the 1/4 inch thread at the bottom, also good. And last but not least is the phone mount. All that you get with this for £23. That to me is an absolute steal. If you happen to have this particular selfie stick, please leave a note down in the comment section what you thought about it, because your opinions may be different to my opinions, so please leave that down in the comment section. Thanks for watching the video. If you like the video, please give it a thumbs up. If you don't, give it a thumbs down. I perfectly understand my videos can be long, but I like to go into detail to save you the trouble of when you buy the product, you know what to expect. So that's why my videos are long. Please subscribe to the channel and I'll see you next time.